How's about we get high on life? I had a little bit of a revelation I'd like to share. Here we go.
This is your life, no one else has gotta live it. This is your fight that only you can win.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne, your certified spiritual rock star. And if you want to get videos just like this every single week, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell to turn on your notifications for every time I post. So I had this revelation and I wasn't quite sure what to call this video. I don't know. It might not be quite appropriate, but we'll see. So I have a history of addiction. Okay, I've talked about this in the past, and I think that we all sort of have an addiction to something, right? Maybe you meet a guy and you fall in love and you just get high, head over heels. And, you know, I think that there's a degree of addictions as well. Some of it's like ruins your whole life when you don't have it. And some of it's just like you get a little high off of people or relationships, or maybe when you go shopping, or maybe if you drive your car really fast, like things like that. We all get a little bit of a high. But the part that kind of leaves us feeling really terrible is when we don't have that thing that made us high in the first place. Now, this could be me talking to actual drug addicts or narcotics addicts or alcohol addicts or sex addicts or whatever. Usually those are the ones that tend to be shunned in life. But we have addiction. We all have addictions. We just, for some reason, have happened to shun those. And probably because, you know, the addiction of those can get so far down the road that you kind of like screw over your whole family, you know, things like that. So if your experience, like maybe I know a lot of people that follow me are recovering addicts. I'm a recovering addict in my own way. And you know, when you start to get into that road to recovery, you still get high off of things. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's been sort of shunned, even in the spiritual world, to just get high off of anything. And I just had this revelation that was sort of awesome that I wanted to share. So when you get high off of something, the reason you get high off of it is because what you're experiencing, at least to my understanding, is your inner being, right? That's something that Abe Hicks would say. You're experiencing your inner being. So you observing or using or doing the activity that gets you high, or being with the person that gets you high, or whatever, you're just using them or that as an excuse to experience yourself. So the reason that we get high and then we drop down low is because that is, you know, that is a frequency that we want to be at, that higher frequency, but it's not practiced. And so the advice that I would give to you, say you get high off of a relationship, you get high off of anything, my advice would be to no longer try to use that thing to get high, but try to get high without that thing. So it's interesting, right? So maybe you meet a new guy or a new girl and you just, and then all of a sudden you don't see them and you're feeling like your supply just got cut off. It kind of gets like that. Like you feel like, you know, you kind of feel like a drug addict a little bit. You're like, I need this. And I think that anybody that has been an addict in the past definitely has that addictive personality, and it's because we want that high. We want to experience ourselves. We want to experience the highest frequency that we possibly can. And when you've done drugs in the past, and especially something like ecstasy, I used to do ecstasy, and you've been that high, you know, in order to, you really got to practice high vibes in order to get that high again. And that's what happens with an addict, is like we're chasing that high. And in one way or another, we're all sort of chasing that high. And that high is mistaken for the drug, the man, the shopping, the money, the whatever. But that high is really us experiencing ourselves. And we sort of fall into it when we use these drugs or we do these things like shopping or whatever. We get the money, we get the man, whatever. So what I would advise you, and here's the thing, here's the reason why you keep going up and down. You get that high and then you can't sustain it because, one, you're using them as the excuse to get high. You're not using yourself as the excuse to get high, because we all want to get high. Let's just be real here. We all want to feel that high. We all want to feel high vibe. Whether you call it, the spiritual world calls it high vibrations, or a drug addict calls it just getting high, like whatever you call it, we all want to get high in our own way. You know what I mean? And so the reason we're so up and down is because, one, we're depending on the outside in order to give us that high, provide that high. And really, we're using the outside as an excuse to allow who we truly are to come through, right? That's ding, ding, ding. I know Spirit was just like, yep, that's it. And when we practice those high vibe feelings, so like just sit for a moment, think about, if you just think about, and it's probably not safe to tell a drug addict to think about a drug, but if you think about that man or that woman or the money or getting the money or whatever, if you think about that for 1 second and how high that makes you, feel the high for a moment. And understand that that high that you're feeling is not because of them. It's because you just produce that high within yourself. Now, there gets to be some wonky stuff when it's like the reason you're getting high off of other people is because you, or money or whatever, is because you think that it's attached to your self-worth. And that when you get that, you'll be worthy. Well, the truth is that you are worthy. So when you get that and you feel the high, that's because you're feeling the truth of yourself. When you're like, yeah, I got the money, I'm worthy. Yeah, I got the man, I'm worthy. Yeah, I got the body, I'm worthy. I got whatever, I'm worthy. Now I'm walking around with my, whatever purse and my name brand this and my name brand that, or I got this eye candy on my arm or whatever it is. You think that that now makes you worthy, and then you feel the high. Well, the reason you feel the high is because you really are worthy. You already really are worthy. Except when you actually believe in your own worth, you get to experience yourself. Get that? So if you want to be as good as all these things you think you need to have in order to be good enough, feel that feeling. Feel the high on the regular. Feel the high on your own. And when you practice that feeling every day, the feeling of the truth of who you are, worthiness, really is ultimately, when we break it down, it's the feeling of worthiness. Let's just break it down. Worthiness, which when you feel that worthy, it matches up with how your inner being feels about you. And so boom, you get to allow the inner being experience. You get to experience your own inner being when you match up with the feelings that your inner being has about you. And here's another thing that happens when you do get high off of anything. You sort of release inhibitions, don't you? You release a lot of inhibitions. Let me tell you, from one drug addict to another, when you decide to go pop that pill or whatever you're doing, I send love to all of you, but when you decide to pop that pill, you're like, all your inhibitions are out the window. You're just like, fuck it. And when you say fuck it, there's a beauty in that. There really is. And I'm not saying fuck it, I'm just gonna, go fuck the world, I don't care. Because here's the thing is, we say fuck it and we have a negative connotation with it. But when you say fuck it and you have a positive connotation with it, if you just say fuck it, I'm worthy, like, let that be your mantra. Fuck it, I'm worthy. Fuck this, I'm worthy. Fuck it all. Just fuck it, I'm worthy. And when you say, fuck it, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna just have fun, you release all of your inhibitions. You release all of the resistance to you experiencing yourself, and you don't actually need to take the drug. How many times, like, when you go out to have a drink on the weekend, right? It's the weekend, you're like, I'm just gonna say, some part of you just says, fuck it. I'ma just be me. Fuck it. Like during the week, it's like, oh, I gotta do this and this. You have your big to-do list, and then the weekend rolls around and you're just like, fuck it. I'm not doing nothing. You go out for the weekend, you take that first sip of alcohol, and all of a sudden you just feel good. Like sometimes you even feel drunk when you just took one sip and you're like, I know I'm not drunk, but you just released your inhibitions. You're just like, woo, I don't really care. And so what I want you guys to practice, this is radical. I understand how radical this is, but what I want you to practice is getting high and all the things that go around getting high. You just saying, fuck it. You just releasing all of your inhibitions. You know, I want you to do all of that without needing the man, the drug, the money, the shopping, the yada, 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 yada. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you feel me? So let your spiritual practice be getting high on life. And here's the thing. Listen, Darienne just did it. I just took the lifestyle and mentality of a drug addict and made it your spiritual practice. Now, don't get me wrong. I am certainly not laughing about drug addiction, because the reason that drug addiction is so tumultuous and can completely ruin your lives and kill people, literally can kill people, is because there's so much shame and negativity and negative connotation around it. When you go to other parts of the globe, and I'm not saying drugs are all great, everybody should do drugs. I don't do drugs, but when you go to other parts of the globe, there is much less of a negative connotation with the use of drugs than there is in, like, say, where I live. There is a huge negative connotation. And so the drug addict is not just carrying around the need to experience their inner being, because we all have that need, and the deep desire. I mean, we would do anything to experience God. We would do anything. And when you take that away from us, when we are perceived that that's been taken away from us, we get to the point where we're doing crazy things to get it, but then we're being shamed for it, and we feel shame for it, and we feel like we don't have a lack of control, when really it's like we just want to experience our inner being. So when you remove the shame out of the mentality of an addict, first of all, we're all addicts. So one, if you're sitting on the other side of this camera, on the other side of this video, thinking that you're better than any other drug addict, you're not. There's a little spiritual smackdown for you. We're all chasing God, and you're chasing it in your own way. I'm chasing it in my own way. And some of it is really healthy. Some of us meditate to chase God and to find God, and that's a really healthy way of doing it. Some of us find it within ourselves. That's the healthy way. And then others perceive that we have to go out and get it somewhere else. That's the unhealthy way. But the thing is, even if you've gotten it from somewhere else time and time again, right now you can think about that. Think about going shopping and getting that whatever you want, or think about driving that fast car, thinking about having that man hold you in his arms, and feel that feeling, okay? You just did that. When you feel that feeling and you get a little high off of it, you just felt that on your own without needing the actual thing in front of you. Like, you're so much more powerful than you think you are, and that's where we've gotten tripped up here. So I want you guys to practice getting high on life. I understand how radical this is. I understand how crazy this was. I'm telling you, I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning one night and this hit me like a bow. Like I was feeling shame. I was feeling shame for getting high off of a relationship. And I was like, it can't be possible that only that man or only a man could make me feel this way. That can't be possible. Like, I just could not accept that. And then this revelation came to me and I was like, oh my God, I am experiencing my inner being, but I'm using them as an excuse to experience, to allow that to come through me. And I just need to feel that on my own. Like, I can think about a man. I have a great imagination. I can think about a man all day long to make me feel that way. And that's me making me feel that way on my own. I can dance with sugar plums in my head all day long and feel groovy. And that's what I want you guys to practice, that it really comes from you, not the outside. And when you practice feeling that good all the time, that will end up being your life because you have now become that which you desire. Get it? Law of attraction will then kick in and will manifest for you what you desire because you have now become what you desire. Do you get that? All right, guys. So what I want you to do is like this video if you want to see more videos like this. If you enjoyed this, make sure you comment down below any ahas that you had during this video. Also, let me know if you guys have any questions or if you would like to see any future Freedom Friday video topics, what you would like those to be in the future, okay? All right, guys, be sure to subscribe. I'll put a little John right here. John, I said John, yes I did. I said John. So I'll put a little John right here, for you to click and subscribe to my crazy ass. You will get all sorts of radicalness like this. You have permission to be who the F you are around here. We could be dragon slayers by loving ourselves. And make sure, if you haven't already heard, I am doing a giveaway. Look on my channel. I will show you. Actually, I'll put it down in the link below. The video showing you what I am giving away, the prize. And if you just share any one of my videos as many times as you'd like using the hashtag #HolidayGiveaway, you will be entered. And of course, be subscribed here. You will be entered to win the prize. All right, guys, I love you very much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Oh my God, is next week like gonna be Christmas? It's like next week is like Christmas Eve. I'll see you then. Bye, guys. Mwah.